Thank you all for being here, and Linda and Harry for hosting us. Rise to the occasion. My boyfriend and I lived in Glacier Bay, Alaska, where we worked as biologists. Our home was a 42-foot sailboat, Resilience. Late in October, prepping for a deer hunting expedition, we discovered the boat's gear shift was not engaging. I fetched tools while Jim made the repair. Beneath building clouds, we motored toward the Indian Islands, a hunting and fishing hotspot. Twice a day, the Indians experience powerful currents as tides drain and reflood the icy strait, narrow channels. Locals call the South Passage the washing machine. Once at Indian Cove, I took the helm. From the bow, Jim released the anchor with 100 feet of rumbling chain and secured it. Reverse, he called over his shoulder. I shifted into gear, inhaling the spruce-scented breeze. One boot on the chain, he felt for tension transmitted from the seafloor. This man and I had lived together for 3 years. He was the one with boating experience, a good mentor. He liked showing me how things worked, helping me understand the why behind the what. Family roots in the Midwest, I'd grown up in Indiana, climbing trees, roller skating across bumpy asphalt, and scheming with my best friend to buy a pony. My youthful dream had been to live on a farm, raise horses, a garden, and children. Jim and I had moved to Alaska when he took a job at Glacier Bay National Park. Instead of buying land, we'd each drained our savings accounts for a down payment and co-signed on a $100,000 loan to buy Resilience, a solid ocean cruiser. His rationale, that we could either own 5 acres or have a 1 million-acre ocean as our backyard, won me over. My love for him and Southeast Alaska's marine wilderness convinced me to abandon the homestead alternative. I wanted to be all in, but my Midwestern core taunted, "You are an imposter." My confidence in running our sailboat tottered on a narrow ledge. As I nudged the throttle, 2 ravens exchanged deep-throated clowks. With a forecast for 20-knot northerlies, we tucked close into shore. Once anchored, we embraced in the breezy dusk, savoring the wilderness and our solitude. The rain began as pinpricks. JD sent us off with 2 moose steaks, Jim said. I'll get those started. In the warmth below, we shed fleece pants and jackets as the boat yanked against the anchor line. Jim stopped chopping garlic to listen. After another thud clank, he frowned. I'm going to add a snubber to the chain. While he attached the shock-absorbing line, I made a salad. We're holding, he said, climbing down the companionway, but the wind's already up to 25. These steep hills are funneling it through the gap. And there's a back eddy from the current. Should we turn on the radar, I asked. Good idea. We ate in silence beneath a tap-tap-tatter of rain as the boat swayed and shuddered. We took turns climbing the steps to check our position. 2 hours later, I was brushing my teeth when Jim hollered, "Get suited up!" What's happening? Toothpaste foam spattered the sink. Winds shifted. We're dragging toward shore. I shoved bare legs into thermal pants, pulled on boots. The diesel's low-throated rumble was a reassuring addition to the storm's loud quarrel. We've got to get out of here, he said. Keep her nose into the wind while I crank the chain. As soon as the anchor's off bottom, you got to power up so she doesn't blow onto the rocks. I flashed an, "Oh, Jesus" look. The look he bounced back said, "We can do this." At the helm, I scanned the dark cove. How could that rock wall be only 2 boat lengths behind us? Another blast sent the depth sounder from 15 to 13, then 10 feet. Shit, I pictured our keel 4 feet above the seafloor. Jim knelt to remove the snubber. With every plunge, seawater shot up around him. What am I doing here? I should have held out for buying land. Drive into the wind, he yelled. Up the chain. He sliced a straight arm forward. I shoved her into gear and pressed the throttle. What if the shift repair doesn't hold? A shadowy image of our sailboat aground darted into my mind, hull at an ungainly tilt like a beached whale. Thank you.